Are we live? Is this happening yet?
Yep.
Okay, it's official. How's everyone doing? Ladies and gentlemen, we are calling from three parts of really the world. We got Colorado in here. Maybe we'll start and get to it. I don't know where Tom is. I'm here in California, and we're calling from Azerbaijan. So we're in my kitchen. What that means is we're cooking. And this is a session that if you really like what you're seeing, if you love what we're going to bring to you, we could bring you more. So we're going to be experimenting. I'm Samuel J. Cummins, the Director of Education at GenAI.Works, and I am thrilled to talk to you today about what's changing, all things vibes and agents. But hey, I'm not alone. I'm joined with some phenomenal folks that have been super active in our community and really bringing phenomenal content with their own legacy. So with that said, we got two folks. I'm going to start with Sephora. Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone. I'm Safura. Currently, I'm working as QA engineer at GenAI.Works company. So today I'm gonna talk about some about the coding. Actually, also I have good experience with coding instructor of coding, using Python language. So I'm gonna answer some questions from you, like how AI affects coding and why you need to learn coding and etc. And also, I'm doing mentoring to the Lead with AI Hackathon about the protocol, GenAI protocol. So it will be awesome. So I pass it to Tom.
Hey, hi everybody. This is Tom and Tom Yip. I'm a professor at in Colorado, University Colorado Boulder, and I'm in the computer science department. And I've been sharing a lot about how to learn AI using hand by hand exercises, and with this, it's been known as AI by hand. And it's been an honor to be collaborating with GenAI.Works, and I serve as an advisor for this wonderful team. And I also had the opportunity to collaborate on a free agent course, right, following Sephora's footstep, and that is was the second course that we offered on the platform, and I have lots of experiences that's very positive that I'd like to share today as well.
I mean, he's really sandbagging. It was phenomenal. The crowd went crazy. Tom is a rock star here. And hey, I told you we're calling from my kitchen, so we're about to cook it up. If you're really excited, let us know where you're calling from. One of the biggest things is this content is for you. So in the comments, let us know where you're calling from. What is your job title? Maybe what is your favorite AI news? Put something in the comments. We'll make sure we try to circle back to it, huh? Y'all ready to have some fun? Okay, I hear a couple people shout out. People from Brazil. I think NM, so maybe North Memphis. I don't know, but shout out to NM. Where else we got? Working on your second venture. We got a founder in the building. Okay, let's go. Hey, Sally. Good to see you. California in the building. Salute. All right, so we got a good crew. We got Kansas City. We got London. Wow. Okay. Who's not here? Vermont. What's up, Adam? Okay, so the crowd is coming in. We got some phenomenal folks all over. More Brazil. Well, we got Global Head of Digital Marketing from Munich. Honored, Lars. Honored to have you. Who we got? We got Jamie from Spain. Victoria from Argentina. Finland. Wow, this is like the Olympics. We got Bangladesh, South Africa, Tunisia. Who's not here? Dublin? Am I missing something? Are y'all seeing this? Wow. Thanks, everybody, for showing out. It's time for us to have some fun, huh? Y'all ready for us to cook it up? Let us know in the comments. Y'all ready for us to cook it up? All right. Let's go. So first things first. Why does this moment matter? And I think it's so important for everybody who's on this call to really recognize this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You are at the forefront of what will be the next range of innovators. And when I say range, I mean all types of innovation, from video production, all the way to go to market, all the way to how we do business every day and interact with each other. So why this is such an important moment and why we're on this call today is because we are in a macro evolution environment. And what that means is many changes are converging between AI, community, how people consume content, all these things are converging around education in ways that are changing completely how people learn. And this is something that, if you are born at any other time, you wouldn't have had the opportunity of. The ability to learn now, with AI being your own personal coach or personal assistant, with communities rallying around platforms and creating and innovating and sharing tools together, and just a whole world of content reaching a level where we all are interacting with content every day. It's just undeniable. The last time we were in this opportunity or in this type of experience, when social media was created, when the internet was created, when mobile phones, these are phenomenal times. And in this moment, what's happening, I'm going to bring you all some really unique insights. And so first things first, being here at GenAI.Works, we have a phenomenal window. Like, to be able to see real news as it evolves and breaks is unmatched in the world. I mean, truly, unprecedented stuff. So I'm here to give you some gems. One of the gems is what we found just working in this space that we have is that there's a science to news break and how AI evolves, and that science really is super interesting. So for those that kind of seen on the screen, essentially, if you look on the left, we have niches. So there's individual niche that, again, maybe a product might play in, or an AI tool might play in, or it might be a job title, or a job to be done within a job title, like all these different things. But under that, imagine it more like a superposition. So if I had different fields and I overlaid thousands, hundreds of thousands all over each other, and each one of those fields is a keyword. So think of it like I'm looking up Google keywords and I pull up a keyword like vibe coding. So every week or every day, every moment, there's vibe coding news. That news then gets processed by people. People write blogs, people make insights. That becomes essentially the insight. And then somewhere along the line, someone takes that and makes something. Someone goes and produces a product, or goes and produces a video, or does something that really goes viral. And that takes it from a niche to the mainstream. And so we have this really complex understanding that, just really opens up a ton of doors. And so think of it like Plato's theory, where we have the forms, and then the idea is that every industry, every experience, every product, it really is something that gives revelation to the abstract structure, which is this diffusion of innovation. We are in a world where this is what's powering everything. When people see that somebody in a niche capitalizes, that goes viral as news in mainstream, where other people can then capitalize that might not be fully plugged into that niche. So again, this is some of the underlying insight that I'm excited to bring to you that, again, really encapsulate the overall foundation of some of the things that we've been able to see, and I think really are going to continue to transform how we deliver for you. So, hey, if you like what you just heard and you're ready to go even further, let's go. So the first session, again, we're going to do 3 fun activities here. It's meant for you to engage with us, so ask questions in the comments. But the first question, again, we're in my kitchen, so we got to cook it up, right? So what this is all about is embracing the challenge. And so just to get all the juices flowing, get our speakers kind of rolling, we're going to start with challenges in each one of our areas. I'm going to speak to vibe coding. Tom is going to speak to agentic AI. And then Sephora is going to speak to coding itself. And so we're going to start with Sephora and then work our way all the way through. And again, the core idea of this first session is really, let's take a challenging question that's in the market, in our space. Let's kick off there. So first off, code or not to code? Sephora, should people just quit coding? I mean, everyone talks about how 90% or 80% of all future code is going to be written by AI. Should people still learn code? I'll let you just share your thoughts and go a little open-ended there.
Well, the answer is absolutely yes. Like, maybe yes more than ever. So, even basic coding knowledge helps you understand what AI is doing, actually. I would explain it like, it's like knowing how to read. You don't need to be a professional writer, but you should understand the language, actually. So I would say it's the same context, because if you know coding, you can understand how AI works, which current AI impacts each and every profession. And AI tools work better when you know how to talk to them, actually. And actually means knowing a bit of code, and knowing a bit of code can impact how you work, how you live, and etc. And besides, actually, it's so fun. You can build small things for yourself, like even a to-do app, just a Telegram bot, even Instagram caption, even an AI agent. You can do lots of things for your daily life. So I think like nowadays coding is like a creative hobby, and like no matter whatever background you have, you need to learn it. Like no need to be perfect, just curious to learn new things, and you can do your job, your lifestyle better with coding. I would add one more note from my own experience. I used to have a student, university, like he was studying at the university, and he was studying medicine, and he's gonna be a doctor, but he was learning coding, like just Python. And I asked, okay, it's not your profession, like why you have such a curiosity, I'm sorry, curiosity to learn. And he answered me, I believe like medicine will be impacted by AI, and the ones who know coding, who know programming, and who can understand what's going on will do better and will evolve faster. So yes, overall that's powerful, and I believe people still learn to code. Need to learn code. Need to learn to code.
You gave them the gems there, huh? What do y'all think? Y'all ready to start learning the code? I thought we had a director for marketing. I expect you to be in one of the Python courses soon, huh? All right. Thank you for that one. I think this is an interesting one. If you want us to come back and talk a little bit more about this, put it in the comments. Next question. I think there was one about vibe coding. And this is kind of the spirit. One question from a user was, will a multi-million or billion-dollar company be supported by vibe coding fully? How far away are we from that? And I want to tie that question to this question, which is, or general statement I've heard all across from real developers. Vibe coding can't deliver real projects. Oh, that's nice. It's fun to play with, but that's not a real tool for real serious development. And I'm here to tell you a little bit more about why and what and how that might not be so true, even if it is right now. So first off, what is vibe coding? Because there might be everyone here is on our GenAI.Works channel. You might be somewhat familiar. But for those that don't know, vibe coding is about using AI to write the code for any application or product or use case while you enjoy the vibe. And what it means by that is very much different than typical coding. Typical coding is very much predetermined. So I have a destination, and my efficacy, my ability to deliver on that destination at the highest amount is what really defines my ability as a good developer. It's essentially my ability to impose my will via code. Vibe coding is a little bit different. It's more of a dance. Instead of me like trying to impose my will exactly, I'm interacting with the software platform, whatever tool I'm using, to get to a shared destination. And your question may be, okay, who are you sharing it with? That's where it gets fun. You're sharing it with the capability, the potential, the details, the output, the overall vibe interaction with the AI that you're working with. But underneath the hood, the reason why vibe coding is really challenging has a lot to do with physics, actually. It has more to do with entropy and complexity. Hear me out. The same way that if anyone's ever used Excel and you link a field to another field and it says circular logic and it gets all broken, what happens is as you develop, things become more dependent on each other. The relationships, the connections. Think of it like a water filling up essentially in a bucket, but that bucket is filling up bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's becoming almost like a mountain as it freezes and gets bigger and bigger. So what that's called is the entropy mountain. And so as you develop, again, you can make a lot of simple stuff. Think of it like dealing with video games. We got Super Nintendo, then you get N64, then you get PlayStation 1, then you get Xbox 360, right? The sophistication, the complexity of those experiences and games, they leveled up over time. And what that ties to is the same concept here, where when I'm vibe, coding, there's a certain level of complexity that, again, between context windows, the ability for AI to keep all these different tools and libraries maybe in its read memory, like all these things will be the limitation that from the output makes it so to deliver a $1 billion company could be hard today in some ways. Because like, even if you develop the application, is it fully secure? Does it have all of the things you need to make sure that it can deliver at high volume? So can it handle high velocity to your site? These are all things that are complexities. But when you add them together, that's where you get this idea that, maybe even if entropy is the problem, are there things I can do to actually dive into it? And that's where I'm argue with you, argue with anyone that says that vibe coding can't deliver real projects, is that even if it's now, it's still early stages, that threshold of how much complexity and entropy we can develop upon. So can we make a Salesforce, everyone that knows Salesforce? Maybe not. That's a lot of complexity. But can I make a tool like, Calendly, or for those that might know, or like any kind of like calendar tracking tool? I think I could. I think I could make that in maybe 5 minutes. So like the complexity of the application is what dictates, again, if it's viable or not for vibe coding. And so I see a future where applications are increasingly able to be developed at a higher and higher level of complexity. For those that have joined the vibe coding course, you already know about this, but there's things that were coming out of this community that will blow your mind. If you haven't heard of any of the statements, let me know in the comments. I'm just going to say them. So the first one is called staking. Has anybody heard of staking? How about gene splicing? Not talking about biology, but in the form of coding. Has anybody heard of seeding? Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you want to figure out what those things are, you have to subscribe. The links are in the bio. Shout out to Paola, Rafa, and the rest of the marketing team. They're going to make sure the links are in the comments so you can get to those. But again, these are tactics that allow for us to treat this entropy problem like aging. And what that means is it can be prolonged. It can be extended, meaning there are maybe some hard floors or some hard caps, like, context windows, things like that. But overall, we can actually go further. There's no limit on can we build $1 billion business with vibe coding. It's really, can we develop the tools and skill sets and capabilities and methodologies to bring that to life. But hey, y'all heard me chapping enough. Y'all fired up? Y'all enjoying that? Y'all ready to hear from the Don himself? Let's talk agentic AI. Tom, is it all hype? Are we in the middle of the cycle? Are we post the cycle? I've heard things about like crazy hallucinations. I don't know what company, somebody's company gave their LLM access to a vending machine, and apparently it went crazy. So who knows, right? But I'd love to let you just open up the floor, Tom, and walk us through, where are we in the agentic AI cycle?
Hi, everybody. So I'm here to talk about agent, and I thought, how are we going to talk about it? I decided to do a bit storytelling and to share about how I learned about agent myself, and then some of you might relate to the experience about trying to figure out, trying to follow a new topic. You're not really sure, is it hype or it is a fad? You don't quite know. And anyway, so when did I learn about agent? It was about must be last May in 2024. And I know some of you probably heard about agent last year as well, or this year. So I'm just curious, if you heard about agent last year in 2024, can you type 1 in the comment? If you heard about agent this year, can you type 2? Just kind of get an idea. And all right. Yeah. So I'm saying that, well, probably half of you heard about agent last year, about half of you heard about this year. And so anyway, so I was studying a lot of RAG, retrieval augmented generation, earlier part of 2024. and I was given some lectures about this, and somebody asked me, reach out to me, hey, Professor Tom, yeah, can you prepare agent about, lecture about agent? I was like, what do you mean agent? So back when I was an undergrad 20 years ago, I did this more formal agent, I built agent and so on and so forth. But agent in the context of RAG, in the context of large language model, is something kind of new to me as well. Is this just a new branding? I wasn't really sure. So I decided to study. And first I want to share my first ever handwritten note I took about as I was studying agent, and some of you might find it interesting. So where is it? So let me see right here. Okay, so this is the note I took. So can you guys see? So I came across Andrew talking about agent. Oh, if I was like, oh, if Andrew is talking about agent, maybe it's not working. Is it working? Can you see my note? I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. No, it doesn't. Well, I have no. Can I present? I thought I just presented it. Am I able to share? Are you able to see my picture? Maybe not. Oh, same. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is a picture I want to share, my handwritten note. Yeah, so I learned about there are 4 design patterns of agent. So it was about last May, and I prepared a lecture, and I gave a lecture on in June. I was really surprised that many people actually came to listen to me about agent, and so I started to talk more about agent over the second half of last year until and I was had a chance to collaborate with GenAI.Works. So, hey, Professor Tom, yeah, can you offer a mini course about agent? And I took it upon myself as a challenge to do it. I hope maybe some of you in the audience have taken the course, maybe some of you have not. And so I think what has changed is that this term just sticks around. More people want to learn about it, and more people talked about it. When I was talking about it, teaching it last year for the first time, I would not expect that there will be this much interest, that people talking about it, people building tools, and I started to hear, oh, your neighbors are talking about it, your parents are talking about agent, and so all my students are talking about agent. So I started to believe that maybe it's really something different about this agent, even though it could be hype, some aspect of it could be hype, but when everybody's talking about it, everybody is building it, it's going to impact your life. So some of the agents going to be useful, but there are going to be a lot of agents that are not that useful. It could be even borderline dangerous. So anyway, so to share the story about my class, and so I remember when I was preparing this class, I would like to share another image that I was preparing for my this mini course on agent. So if it's a way to share, I have another image I'd like to share. Okay. All right. I don't know how to make it work. I actually selected the picture. Hey, it's like this. Anyway, so I was hoping to be able to share the image from StreamYard, but it's not working. I wanted to share my handwritten notes, and I thought maybe I could get people to draw with me, and as we go over the theoretical aspect and also the conceptual this understanding of agent, and then at the end, I would like to share. So I offer initially I offer to sign certificate for the student who took the course, and then at the end there are so many people make submissions and of their own handwriting. I was so blown away by submission and writing from over the world, and I was really wanted to share with you, but I think I need some help to put picture onto the screen. So yes, okay. I think my host is helping me right now to bring a picture to the screen, right? Um, okay. Anyway, so yeah, I was hoping to be able to tell a more like visual story, but I apologize. The picture is not showing. Oh, here, this picture is finally showing. Okay, so this is actually my preparation, and then so I asked my student to if you could follow my drawing, and then if you did all of them, then you receive a certificate. And so and I had to eventually I have to go to the post office to deliver all the certificate that when for a physical certificate. I also send out a lot of uh, digital certificate. So these are the physical certificate I brought to the post office, and I prepare here. So I think maybe just take a moment for the picture to show up, and I remember I had to learn about the the how many stamp have to put on the envelope for different countries and so on and so forth. So I'm not sure I'm responding the question precisely and as you expected it, but the point I'm trying to make is that it seemed to be a, a something you can build yourself as well. And because of that, other people are building it as well. And they're going through a period that it will be getting harder and harder to to navigate that what agents are actually helping you, what agent might be hurting you, or there are some agents that are helpful, but they pretend to be helpful, but it's actually doing something bad in the background as well. So it's going to be a period of uh, this uncertainty, and just because there's so many agents out there, so many people are working on this. With hackathon coming up, there are thousands of people join already. So if you want to build agent, you should join as well. And I would like you to build a good agent, not a bad agent. So anyway, so because of that, my prediction is that there is going to need a lot more investment in educating people about what agents are doing. So as we go through this period, just back then when we have to educate people how different apps on your phone, some might be good, some might be stealing your data. And even before that, wave when we just entered wave 2.0, when at that point when everybody can build a web app, and then we have to go through the same period as well. So to answer the question, I think we are on the rise, and then we have a lot of agents, and we just need to more education to bring everybody on so you can make educated choices about which agent you should interact with, and what kind of what things you have, how users should be aware of certain pros and cons about interacting with agents.
Wow. Well, I got back. I had to hear everything you said, Tom. And I mean, you are right on. The more people adopt, the more people lean in, it seems like this is an inevitable motion. I mean, you can't put that genie back in the bottle, per se, huh? Let's get back to the presentation here. I think we're last few minutes. We have been covering so many great subjects. I see everyone in the chat having a ball. So it's time for rapid fire round robin. Huh? Y'all ready? Hot questions. So this one is not meant to be as long. So again, feel free to kind of jump in. There's no specific person. I'll be looking at the comments in the chat just to make sure if anybody has any extra questions, we'll try to sprinkle them in there. But we're just going to go one by one. You know, the question is, what's changing? But we're going to look at different areas. So let's take a look here. What's changed with the tools people are using? That's an open question. You know, Sephora, Tom, if you want to speak up, anybody, just kind of take that from there. But the question is, what's changed in the tools people are using?
Yeah, so let me answer. So if you're talking about the Python, actually many things is changing, like especially like it's changing so fast. For example, before we used to use as a package manager pip, and also we used to use VMV, but now we have a tool like UV which installs things very fast, and it handles everything itself and runs the script, and it became very easier nowadays. And also besides that point, like currently people are also using tools to talk to AI directly, using Python, of course. Like we have new tools, frameworks like LangChain, AutoGen, or GenAI protocol. So currently, Python is very easy to work with, to work and integrate with AI and to create an agent. It's very useful. And it evolved in like last years actually. Like now we are instead of writing long codes, now we can focus more on connecting APIs. Like we can get help from AI, and now we can build more scalable and more large projects in scope. And also, the most important point here, Python is becoming the main language for building smart agents, AI agents. Actually, I would say, like currently, Python is not just a simple coding. Now, actually, it's how you can integrate with AI.
Y'all heard it here first, folks. Tom, you got anything you want to add for tools people are using?
Oh, when I learned agent for the first time, the only tool they were available were writing Python code, and there's lots of GitHub repositories. They were just beginning, and then over time there are GUI coming out, and the people can use GUI. And then now vibe coding, people actually vibe code agent, and then vibe code agent they code agent, and it's this a recursive pattern, and so it's pretty messy right now. So I have not seen just like one go-to tool. There are certain good candidates like Crew AI's tool, but I hope that maybe in a year from now, or maybe in a few months from now, it become clear. There will hopefully come down to 2 or 3 tools we all use.
Yeah, and I add to that, in the vibe coding world, it is a gold rush. There is a new tool every day. Everyone is trying to out jockey each other. They're providing new features and functionality. It is a blitz. And that blitz means we all win as consumers. So there's so many tools out there. When I first started, it was maybe 3 that everyone might have known about. The lovables, the replets, and the cursors. But now there's like a whole litany from Pythagora to Bolt. There's like tons out there. Just across the board, there's tons of variety. Now, what separates good ones from bad ones, that's still to be told. And again, if you want to learn more, you could join the Vibe Coding course. That link has been made available. Shout out to the marketing team. They're probably posting it right now. And then also, agents themselves. If you want to be on the front line of agents and what's going on, definitely check out our hackathon, where you'll get a chance to actually be right at the forefront of everything Sephora was saying. Because the real truth is Python is becoming that core language for agent development, which is so fun, huh? Next question. What's changed in how we learn? Each of us on this call got a chance to do courses with thousands of people. And 2025, we've seen that the way people learn is just really evolving. It's way more collaborative. It's way more community-based. And people I've noticed from all over the world can come together without any direct, like, never meeting each other, and learn and grow together, which is special. So if you maybe just, we're running tight on time, so we'll keep it kind of quick. But anything you wanted to add, Thomas or Sephora, of what you've learned, what's changed, and how you're seeing how people learn?
Yeah, maybe I can answer first. So actually, like currently AI is impacting in learning very, very much. Nowadays, each and every student, I believe, have AI mentor, let's say. Like I have witnessed so many students using ChatGPT to, paraphrase some hard paragraph, or just to take the keynotes and to just learn quickly. Maybe before they used to learn some concept in one day or in just 4 6 hours. Now they're able to learn in just maybe 1 hour or half an hour, because it became so easy to learn, because now we have so many agents. And even if they can build actually agents like today, actually I believe anyone can build some buddy, let's say learning buddy, using AI and vibe coding. But what I mean here is Like currently, everyone has somebody to learn with, and they can easily and they can make fun of learning, and they can learn faster actually nowadays. And they like it's very easy to access the best practices, the fast learning materials using GPT or using any generative AI tool or any agent. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so I think what change is also similar that students are using ChatGPT and models like that, and not so I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking about asking questions. So when it is for my class, it's getting really big and over years, and it's getting harder and harder for students to ask question in front of everybody. And it's just hard to just get in front of everybody to ask questions. You're always worried, oh, am I asking a stupid question? Maybe the professor just talk about it. But my classmate gonna laugh at me if I ask this question, and so. But then when they ask models that they are not afraid of doing that. So there are some study that suggest that students just ask a lot more question to the agents. And so if you allow large language models to be used in a classroom setting, if you do it wisely, and there is a productive way for students to treat them like use them as to get some mentor. You use the word personal mentor. Exactly. That's how I think probably one of the better use cases of large language models in the educational setting. So they can ask a whole bunch of questions that without of being afraid of making a mistake.
I mean,
And
you
so,
all.
and then when they come interact during the class, they can spend more time with professor to just just making connection rather than just asking questions. That's what I hope that
Yeah.
can happen.
We can go deeper than we could before, and everyone can get their chance to learn and grow at their own speed. One last thing maybe I'll add is like collective learning. I think Nasir just shared that the shift from individual to collective learning. That is so true. I'm seeing it even at a higher level where we have collective development. In the vibe coding course, if you sign up, again, the link will be there. We are essentially, as a group, developing applications. What that means is there's no difference between like Apple and development by the individual person. I mean, individual community now, because what made these big companies successful, again, up or down, left or right, every product wasn't a hit, but the ability in theory was they could test more versions of a product. And when they released the final version, they've user tested every possible version. As a small time developer, we couldn't do that. But now with this community development kind of opportunity that vibe coding brings us, and classes like what we have at GenAI.Works really afford us, is we can work together to develop 10 versions of the same product and then combine the best versions. This is an unprecedented time. So this is why, again, I'm bullish, and I obviously believe the future's in the hands of the Vibers. But hey, with that said, we got not enough time in the world. I'm in my kitchen cooking. I think I'm sweating a little bit. It means we're having fun, huh? So with that, let's talk about the final what's changed before we get into the closeout here. And if we don't got to say a lot, maybe you could just say one word or maybe just one quick sentence. Let's make it fun, huh? So the question is, what's changed in methods and tactics? Let's keep it tight, maybe under 20 words.
Yeah. Just regarding to methods, just for example, I believe everyone run to ChatGPT when someone hears some new concept. So, and tactic is now, I believe, to learn from ChatGPT first, and second, ask someone who mentors you or who ask instructor as a second step, not first step. First, learn yourself. Yeah.
Awesome. Tom.
I think the method is about like you have to figure out a way to find someone to study together. And so going along with what Sam was saying, that is to make sure that the ChatGPT is helping you on a lot of aspects, but it should not be pulling you away from human connections with your loved one and friends. And so make sure of that. Don't be fooled by ChatGPT and you are trapped into that ChatGPT bubble because it has been the reinforcement learning has been very successful in saying really nice things to make you happy. They always any question is that what a great question. Any problem? Oh, I understand your problem. So like really good that AI is getting really good at appearing to be sympathetic. So that is so that's um to find definitely need to draw a line how you use AI and also how you maintain to strengthen your human connections. You should treasure.
Oh yeah. Again, I'm gonna bring a term up. Just last one, staking. Again, I can't give you everything. So if you want to actually learn, you got to join the courses or join the hackathon because all of it's there, and you'll be able to get detailed documents and breakdowns of how to apply these concepts. And we got some vibe coded tools for you. But the key thing here is that when people are doing something called staking, think of it like climbing that entropy mountain. And for people that do mountain climbing, you'll be climbing and you'll put in a stake so that if you go up higher and you fall, you can capture you. That's the concept of staking in vibe coding. So one big tactic I see is people are using this concept of staking, which means I can review my code or review a use case or whatever I want to do and ask the AI to generate a README document in detail, breaking down that thing. Then I can, instead of me having to like every time prompt it, I can just call to different parts of that README. So if I say, I want you to rebuild this application entirely for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then essentially, put that in a README document, step by step, and break down everything that needs to change. Then if I want to go implement that change, I just use that README. I told you I was going to be 20 words or less, but I went a little over. But hey, we don't have infinite time. The show rolls on. Are you ready for big bet final round? Huh? Hands up if you're ready. Y'all ready? Hands up. Tom, Sephora, let's get everybody ready. Y'all ready? Hands up, everybody. There we go. Thumbs up. I'll take that too. All right. It's time for the big bet. This is where everybody puts the money on the line. If you like this game show or future to be game show, let us know. But this is where it gets really fun. So big bet. Let's start with Tom and then we'll go to Sephora. Big bet.
Well, I strongly believe we will all have our own AI mentor agents, like maybe built by ourselves. So I believe everyone will have such a mentor guiding they like will help them to learn or build things. Besides, they will advise them. Maybe they will build some roadmap. Maybe they will take care about their mental health. Like I believe this is gonna be normal for everyone in near future. And also, I would highly recommend everyone to at least try to build some agent, maybe using the GenAI protocol or GenAI Agent OS, because it's very easy, but it's very fantastic. Like you are able to build some agent from scratch in a couple of minutes, just using the vibe coding and integrate it to the Agent OS orchestration system. And besides, I would say like let's say my dream I like it feels just amazing to imagine a world where everyone can use these agentic tools to create and build something new for themselves, like no matter what is their background. And it feels just amazing to imagine this. And also, I believe it's not just about just AI replacing jobs. Actually, AI just opening new doors. And yeah, I believe we are the ones holding the key, let's say.
Tom, great point though, Sephora. How y'all liking that big bet? Let us know. Tom.
I think the bet, from my perspective, is will be a lot more investment in education as more people want to learn about AI and teach their children about AI, and from the companies and government wanted to make sure that can happen, and there are competition across the globe that each country like to get into this before it's too late. So that's probably my prediction, but I'm not the only one who's predicting it, and also I'm biased coming from a university environment.
There we go. Tom giving us some great gems there. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go crazy. I mean, I think y'all just made it hard for me. You gave all the really good stuff. I gotta go even bolder, right? Like, I mean, shout out to Boulder, Colorado. You see the pun there?
Bolder, yeah, be bolder. That's our slogan.
We got to be bolder. Shout out to Deion Sanders. Hopefully, we can get you on here some point, right, Coach? See you soon. But the big thing here, my big bold prediction is that we are going to witness the end of the internet as we know it. I know, bear with me. If 90% of code is done by agents, imagine what that means for internet content. What does that mean for social media communication? I think we're going to totally shift how we engage with the internet. If let's just say 70% of all content on the internet is AI generated. And let's just say, let's be conservative. 30% of all interactions are AIs talking to each other. And by 2030, let's just say that that's the date. What do you think will be by 2060? How will people consume the internet or engage with the internet if it's no longer real humans, mostly? We're going to totally shift. So I think the version of the internet that we're seeing might be gone. And I think, for good, bad, up, down, left or right, will we spend less time online and more time in real life? It could go anywhere. So before we doomsday, that's one thing. But the outcome, I think, is pretty certain. The internet as we know it, where it's a human traffic place primarily, will completely change. So that's my bold prediction for y'all. And so bringing it home, what's next? Again, we've heard so much today. We've had a phenomenal discussion. I think the questions that everyone's brought just shows how important this subject is. And I think if everybody likes what they've heard, we might have to make this an official show. So again, it's only possible if you want it. So let us know. We'll bring Tom back. We'll bring back Sephora. We'll be back again at some point. We'll bring other special guests. Every webinar we bring to you, you can turn into a show if you like. So let us know. But tomorrow, we have Vibe Coding Season 2 kicking off. And I'm going to be going into a new concept that really is going to just change what's possible completely, called vibe modding. What people don't know is I can actually modify any application ever made using vibe coding. Meaning, let's just say I have a game from the 1990s that runs on DOS. I can generate, additional scripts that then support that application, like a level generator. Or if it uses NetBIOS to play multiplayer, I can do a NetBIOS injector that makes a multiplayer AI agent that plays that game. That's how we see all these game simulation tools essentially happening as well. And so, again, taking it from the back, vibe modding is going to give you a whole new level of capability. And I'm bringing that to you. If you want it, get in the GenAI.Works courses, sign up. You also have the link in the comments. It links you directly to the plan in our tool, Mighty Networks, where you can sign up. And then more important than ever, this is the biggest opportunity going on. You cannot miss this. If you are alive and well and have a computer in front of you, July 11th through July 14th, the Lead with AI Agents Hackathon is taking place. This is going to be an opportunity to change your life. There's going to be prizes, all that good stuff. But what you learn will give you an aptitude you won't be able to, ever compare to. And what I mean by it is the ability to produce agents at the front line is an important part of what we need to be at in human history. Because the people that are at the front line, they're more likely to be the ones that create the multi-million-dollar business or the, let's say, billion-dollar vibe company. So again, check.
I think internet connection issue.
I think same trying to say, check out this hackathon, and if you like to check them out and see what other people are working on, and just get I think there's a QR code you can scan. And how are we gonna do this? So should we wait for Sam to come back, or we can take some question, I guess.
Yeah, we can pick up some questions to answer.
Yeah, I feel bad to end this myself. So maybe we'll start going offline more often. That's what I hope too. So instead of what at the end of internet is not that we're going to matrix, but also It's like will encourage us to go outside, enjoy the nature, and talk to your friend and spend time with your family member, because agents supposed to take care of a lot of other things you don't really want to do. And what do you do instead? Watching more Netflix? No, it should be talking to your kids, talk to your loved ones. What do you think, Safura? You have a piano in your background, and you go play.
Yeah, I do. Well, the things that I have learned about agents and Agent OS was great. Like, I believe it will change everything, like every aspect of our lives. And like as I mentioned already before, like I highly recommend, I highly recommend to join Hackathon because it will have too much takeaways. That's one thing. But besides, if you join Hackathon or not, just try to build some agent with vibe coding, because it feels fantastic to see that you are able to automate some of your work, or you are able to create some workflow in couple of minutes, even in couple of minutes, like without any prior experience. And like that's why, like that's the main reason that I think everyone will change their lives using this vibe coding and AI agents. Yeah, welcome back, Sam.
I mean, it's getting too good, y'all. It keeps kicking me out. So I'll have to come back again. But, phenomenal work. I just heard you speak as well. So before I assume, Tom, you got a chance to share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a phenomenal session. Join us on the hackathon. I'll see you on the vibe coding session. This is just the beginning. If y'all like what you're hearing and you want more of this kind of content, let us know. I can bring this into a show. We can bring more guests. We can really have a fun time. But with that said, the party continues. The opportunity grows. This is GenAI.Works, a phenomenal community of builders, doers, makers, and believers. And we're here to change the world one project at a time. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Sephora. Thank you, Tom. Phenomenal work today.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you
See everyone.
here.
Good luck to all of you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining today.
What a pleasure. See y'all
Okay.
soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.